Welcome back to my channel. Thank you for joining this video. This is the second video of PHP video tutorials. Till now we have learned about the basics of Python programming with introduction, syntax, variables, strings, various topics till regular expression. In this video we are going to talk about advanced topics, that is PHP form handling. So if you have not installed XAMPP, download and install XAMPP and then use it extensively in your programming experiment. I am going to give the link in the description how to install configure XAMPP. A video is prepared, so use that video to install the XAMPP in Windows. Okay, so now let us start with how do we run a form, a simple form. Okay, so a simple form, which is written in HTML, right? Let us understand. So HTML has a HTML body, and then which is there in the form with the action, and action with the welcome.php, and the method is the post, and it has a name value pairs. Okay, and the input is name is the, this is the text we are going to display, and then the type is text, and the name is the variable or name, variable name in that particular form is name, and email, and variable name is email. Okay, and then input type is submit. Okay, so this is the method of post type method, which actually the name value pairs are submitted or posted to the server in the headers. This name and values are posted into the server as a headers, not as a name value pairs. And you need to have a welcome.php, so you need to have two files in the server, right? We can use that, but let us have a two files. One is our standard test1.php, and another one is also, let us save it as in the same http docs of XAMPP, and PHP text is where we created the module, and then save this as a welcome.php. Okay, so we create this welcome.php and open the other file also which we have, right? So test.php, sorry, this should be open, not here, it should be in the exam folder, in the http docs, and in the php text test1.html, in this one. So we are creating welcome.php. Okay, and then we are see, we can also use visual source code. Okay, it doesn't matter which editor you are going to use it, right? But we are going to save in the server. Okay, so now what I have done, we have created a welcome.php. This is actually a form, okay, with this one method post, right? And then is this the one welcome should have a proper code to get the values and then display the values, right? So this is the welcome.php. So let us go through this one. What is it is happening? It is a PHP code, and we are displaying the value of name value pair of name, which will be displayed. Similarly email. So both we are going to display, and in the test one we are going to post or submit the values name and email. So now let us run this program in our okay uh, in our browser. So what is that? We have created PHP test and so we have created a form with name and email. Then we are name hello world test. Okay, these are the email test.com, right? Okay, if you submit, what will happen? These values will be displayed, right? Welcome hello world and your email address is test dot. So let us understand the logic now. Okay, we have created a test1.php with the form. A form contains two input parameters, that is name and email, and type is submit and method is post. And what will happen? The action is welcome.php. So the data which will come here is here. This is the input for it. Then when it reaches, it has a name value pairs as a name and email as the headers. Okay, and we are getting the value of name and we are getting the value of email and we are displaying. So that is what it has happened in the tutorial. Okay, hope you understand, right? This is what it has printed. So what we can do, we have used that post method, right? So now we can also use a get method, right? So I will tell you what is the difference between post and get method. When you are sending the values in header, that you have to use it as a post. When you are sending the values as a name value pairs in the URL, you have to use that as a get method, underscore get method. Okay, so that is the difference. And in get method there is a limit because it is there in the URL, but in the post method the limit is the number of characters you will be able to post to the server. It can be 1000, 2000, 10,000, but but depends on your requirement. So usually images and all, right, will be sent through the post method, or name value pairs will be sent to the, or JSON objects or XML objects are sent to the post methods. So what did we do? Did we copy this one? So this is the get method, and we are actually changing this to the welcome also from post to get. You see get, okay, and then we are now using that to test1.php. Nothing is there, right? In this John and email is test.test. Okay, so these are the parameters we are. So what will happen? You see this URL here, you will see the difference. You see here welcome. Actually it is the file which is mentioned as welcome get. Let us change it. Let us change it because we replaced the same file, right? You can actually follow the proper one. So let us go back and then submit. I think we have to type it properly so that it gets the proper value. John, okay, and then submit. So you see here name is John and email is this one. Okay, it is encrypted to accommodate the special characters, and it is displayed John and email, right? So that is the purpose of um, get and post. So both get and post create an array. This array holds, the key value pairs. Both get and post are treated as get and underscore post as the arrays, and you have to get that to the index of the name value pairs. Okay. So the name value pairs you are visible. So and it has a limit of URL. So you should not use passwords and all those things in this. In the post, there is no limit, and it is invisible, and you have to encode it. Okay, so that is the difference as we have seen. But you can come back to this and then read it for your validation. So form validation. Now what happened? PHP, we need to verify the form, right, whether the input values are proper. For example, name has a proper value. Name, email has a proper format. I mean, we don't want to do all those parameters, right? So let us have a rules and must contain only letters and white spaces. Email should have @ and dot. Website optional, and gender required male select one. So radio buttons. So all these things you should be able to develop in HTML. Okay, and then you should be able to see HTML echo special characters. So you should be able to remove all those special characters, and okay. So I just want to see the you know example. So what we are doing is, in this we are writing a function. We are actually trimming it, and we are slashes and HTML special characters and return data. Okay. So we will talk about this entire thing in examples. So required fields, this chapter shows how to input required error messages. Okay, the example is given. So let us run this example. Okay. So I mean, let us actually, so initially we have taken, you know, parameters, name error, email error, and then name, email, everything. We have initialized the variables, and then we are verifying the request method is post. Then we are actually checking whether if it is empty, then we are saying that name is required. Otherwise, we are taking that test input and we are trimming that, as we have seen. We are verifying this. We are checking whether it is empty or not. Okay, or whether website is empty, or test input, and then this is what we have seen, which will actually trim the data, remove the special characters, and then this is the form, right, with the form method action, which is actually in the same method. So what we are going to do, let us actually, instead of this one, let us copy and paste this in our test program. Okay, and then test. Okay, that will be easy, right? It is easy for you to also understand. So let us test with the test1.php. Okay, so now let us add ampersand, some special characters, and then give some junk, give some junk. Okay, and see, give So we have to give let us see what it has happened. You see your input required, right? So it has displayed, okay, in the same form. But so let us go through the code. We are removing required fields, error required fields, whatever we have made. The method is post, and then action is in the same self. We are actually you know sending to the self same file, right? Okay, and the input parameters this has printed the form. Okay, now come back here, and then if the method is post, then only we are actually verifying, right? All these are inside the post, otherwise it will not. So we are only verifying whether it is name or not. If you don't keep it name, see name required, all those things are there, right? So we are only verifying few cases. So this is how you can test it. Name value, how we send the form to the server, and then uh, get it right. I think this is gone. Okay, so let us go back. Just closed. So now let us understand welded email and URL. In earlier, what we have done, we have so earlier what we have done, we have not tested the email, right? Like in this one, if you do like this, it will simply give an error. Okay, if you don't submit, it will give an error. You see, invalid email format. So we have added a condition in the name. Name should be a proper, then email should be a proper value. Okay, see invalid email format. Okay, and website should be in the website format. Okay, so these conditions are added and then displayed. Okay, hope you are following. If you are not, go and come back and review each and every step and then understand. So here is the complete form example. What we have, you can copy and paste in your server also, in your local setup, the way we have been doing. Okay, and run it. Okay, now it should be proper. A B C D. Okay, then test. Here all should be something, and everything should be proper value. Then it will print everything proper. If you don't give a proper value, what will happen? You see invalid email format. Okay, for example, this is also not there. See invalid URL. So that is the form handling and how do we do it. Hope you understand how forms are handled and how variables are handled. We will use advanced topics okay in the next session, including the cookies and sessions and all those things in this chapter. Okay. So date and time are important functions which you can actually utilize it to log, particular date and time in your server files. Okay. So you use it, date of, there is a format, and if you use that format, it will print in that particular format. Date of y, capital Y, small m, and small d. Each has its one, and if you can give whatever the format you want and then display, it will display. So this is very important, function date, which you can utilize it in your programming as well as logging. So you can use that copyright year in a particular date, right? So you can use this one. Okay, so you don't have to make it static. So time you can use in that time only, but you have to use the hour, seconds, minutes. So H, a capital H is a 24 format, small h is a, and I is in minutes, and then S is in seconds, and A is in lowercase, median, postmedian, AM or PM. Okay, so you can use these formats to display. Sorry. So time zones, you can either set it or get it, right? You can set the time zone to America, New York, and then get it, set it. So you understand, right? Time zones, each country has its own time zone, and or a common Greenwich Mean Time also you can use it, but you have to use it. So you can make a date time based on special specified values, and then you can display what is that date time also using the MK time, and you can create a str to time, okay, to convert that into a date time. Okay, if you have a string, you can convert that into a date time. So these are functions where you need to understand and then familiarize yourself. So that is about date time. And one important requirement, as you can see in our C language also, entire files will not be developed in a single file. Okay, so it will be developed a modularized and then as a packaged, so that you can include them as and when you require. You don't have to include all the PHP code. Okay, so you can use either require or include. It will produce a fatal error and a stop error. If it is not there, it will only produce a warning and the script will continue. Okay, so you can use them as include photo.php in other file, and then you can execute it. File handling is very important and very similar to what you have used in your C language. Okay, so this is the text file, for example, okay, which contains the static text, and then you can use read file and then file, which will actually read that entire context. Okay, and text, entire text in the read file. So you need to understand and remember these files. um, okay, uh, so let us actually, there is a f open. F open is a file open with the read, write to close Okay, f open and then file name, and we are giving the syntax, or if any failure happens, we are saying that we are unable to open. We have created this web dictionary, and once we open the file, we are using fread, and then we have the my file index of this open file, and then we are actually reading that many characters only. Okay, so that many characters are read. So there are various modes: read mode, write mode, append mode, create a new file. R plus means file for open a file with read or write. W plus means read or write. So W plus erases the contents of the file, starts at the beginning of the file. So just to understand, A plus means appends. X plus creates a file, returns false, and an error file already exists. So you have to use a respective mode where you are actually trying to use. Once you use that file, you need to utilize, you need to close that file. Okay, the handle. Otherwise, the handle will keep on increasing, and you will get the memory issues. Okay, you want to get a single line, use f get s. Okay, first line, you see the first line fs, and if you want to run it multiple times until end of file, you can actually run with the f getS, and then use that while loop to read all the lines. Okay, this is for reading all the lines. Similarly, to get a character, you can use each character and then display. Okay, so let us go to the next topic, that is PHP file create or write. Okay, so you have to first create, open a file with the write mode, and then we have to use f write, with the file name handle, and then the text, and you have to use f close to close the handle. If you are already familiar with the C programming, okay, so you can easily write this one. PHP file upload. Now this is the tricky part, right? How do you upload a file? This is the form. So what we are doing, we are using multiply form data, and then input image to upload, and then we are using that file image, and then this is the input form, right? And then what is uploads, right? So let us keep this. We don't have upload folder, right? Let us create that upload folder. Let us try this. Okay, so come back to this and then use this for in your program. Okay, and then you have to expand this, okay, in your program, how to upload a file. Okay, let us take some image, right? Which image you want to do? Let us take that same image, right? Sniper sniper tool. Let us open. So we are actually creating, this is the image we have taken, and we are storing it in paint. Okay, and we are storing this in a local file. Okay, so what we will do, we will use in our PHP tutorial, and then image one. Okay, so we have have created this. Let us use the download one. I have not created the upload folder. Let us actually see this. So this is the upload one which we are creating new file, right? Which what is the file name? We are using this upload.php. Upload.php. Okay. And do we have that folder? Let us check. Test1 dot. So let us choose the file. We have created that test1 dot. What is that image one, right? Image one, then upload image. Okay. So let us check where it is uploaded, right? You see, this is upload.php. So we will not, don't have that, right? So where it is uploaded, we have to, let us keep the directory. Directory is example stdx php test. E slash slash htdocs php test. This is the target directory. Okay. Let us check. I have not reviewed the code, but let us assume it will upload. Okay. So it is okay. Let us see what is the problem. So echo not equal file is an image and it is actually uploaded. Actually, it is not saving. If you see here, right, we are not saving that file. When it is, we are just saying that post submit and then we are not saving. So that is why the file is not saved. So we can add a code which will, okay, save the file into the respective folder. Okay. So that is all about advanced. We can actually discuss further. Let us go to the cookies. This is another important topic, which cookies are used as a reference value store between the client and the server. Okay. So a cookie is often used to identify user. A cookie is a small file that the server embeds on the user's computer, and each file the same computer requires the page to the browser. It will send that cookie to the server for that particular server. So set cookie name, expire, path, domain, secure, HTTP only. So these are the parameters you use as a function in. So this is the set cookie value. Okay, when you set the time value, time limit, and expiry, so these values are set, and then this will be displayed. Okay, so let us actually see what is the cookie value in our system, right? What are the cookies which are so we are setting it, and then we are actually verifying whether that cookie is set, right? So here cookie value, you know cookie name is user, and then is cookie set, right? Else not, then cookie is not set. Okay, now let us try again. Now it is, we have set the cookie, and now in second time if you see here the cookie is set, the values are passed to the server, right? So this is how you will actually use that to restore the cookie value set. It is the communication between client and server. That is, client means here web browser, and then server means that PHP server, and those are within that session only. Okay, whenever you call it, these cookies are sent back to the server, and then you can use them. Sessions. Okay, a session is a way to store information to be used across multiple pages. Okay, so cookie is only stored in the computer, and then values are sent. Session is from one page to the other page, and if you close that browser, right, then session is gone. So to start with, you have to use the session start, and then you have to assign variables, session variables. Okay, once the session is gone, those variables are also gone. Okay, that is how it is. So once the variables are gone, right, and okay, so I will do one thing. I will create one session in one file. Okay, let us actually run this test one. Okay, and we will create a new file. Okay, that is which has retrieving. We are just retrieving whether session variables are available or not. Okay, that is in a test2. Save as, it should be in a test2 dot php. Okay, so these two are there. Now what we are going to do, test1, I have set a session. Now if I run test2 dot php, those session variables are available. If you close the browser and then call test2, then those two values will go away. Okay, for example, here you call it in another browser test2. So the variable is not defined, then you got warning message and it is not there. Now if you again run it, those are set, the variable is set and the values are displayed. Okay, that is the difference between a session variable and a cookie. So we can modify the session and then it will actually update. PHP filters is used to validate the sanitize the input data, okay, which is filter list, filter name, filter ID. You see here example, for each filter list ID dot filter name value pairs, right? Okay. So you can use filters. Why use filters? Is input form, cookies, web services, all those things. Filter where function both validate and sanitize. You can validate integer. So I will not go to that. It is a self-explanatory. So callback function. Callback function means based on a particular value. Okay, this is my callback, right? Strings printer. Okay, let us check this. Okay, you see error map of my callback and strings. You are passing this as a parameter, right, for this function and string length. You see error map. So it is actually calling my callback function. So it is a dynamic way of calling a function. Okay, so usually if you want to dynamically identify a function and then dynamically call, you can actually use that. Now let us understand JSON. See, JSON is a format to define the object notation. You can define the data in a particular format and then upload, and then you can actually read it and then you can manipulate it and then you can work on it. You can get the data, you can update the data, you can encode the data and you can decode the data. Okay, so JSON encode arrays, you can how to encode an indexed array. Okay, JSON decode, it will actually have, but if you want to create a JSON object should be in this format, parenthesis name value pairs. Okay, and you can use JSON encode decode and you can verify as an object and then you can actually work on that particular object also, a value also. Maybe I am going, so JSON arrays, JSON decode an array of Peter is 35, array of Ben. So this is the way you can actually get it. and JSON object and key value pairs, right? And then get it. So JSON object, as a JSON object, you can actually send this as a input parameter in the post method, and then use the JSON object to decode the name value pairs. Okay, you want to run, let us run one. So this is the JSON object, and we are decoding JSON decode, and then array says name value pairs, and we are displaying. Okay, so this is how you need to manipulate the data of a JSON. Now let us check on exceptions. How do we actually throw an exception? What is an exception? First let us understand. Exception is an object that describes an error or unexpected behavior of the PHP script. Exceptions are thrown by many PHP functions and classes. User-defined functions and classes can also throw exceptions. Exceptions are a good way to stop function when it comes across a data that it cannot use. Okay, so you can use a throw statement which will actually allow you to throw the exception, right? So what will happen here? You just try this. You have a problem, right? Fatal error and uncapped exception. So what you need to do here? Okay, use the try catch. Okay, so that will be caught, and then you actually unable to divide. You caught here, and then you can write a meaningful. So you have to keep that in a try catch mode, and then get it and then display it. Okay, try catch finally. That means once catch is done, you can actually do a cleanup activity, right? Okay, so that is the end of my advanced topic. We will discuss about object oriented in one video, as well as MySQL database in another video, and we will conclude our PHP training. And thank you for watching this video. And if you want an internship or a training or live training, join my come and watch my videos, or join my and visit my this particular site internship.html to understand the internship availability. And then I have many projects listed down here, and then these are all live projects. You will get the experience to work on these live projects, such as adrev.com, and adrev.com, which is a worldwide classified portal which is there since 2010, and also software.com, which is also there since 20, uh, 2012 or 13. And then we have kupasnagar.com, kupasnagar.in, and I am planning to start NetBiz, NetChess, and then many other programming. We have C++ projects which you want to get it exposure. These are available in GitHub site. You can download and then learn it. And if you want, I can go through the I will walk you through the code also. So if you want internship, send your mail to submit@mysys.com, and we will work out on a 1 month, 2 month, 3 month, 5 month, 6 months, 9 months, and 1 year internships, and you will get a real project development experience. Thank you for joining, and we will connect you in the next video.